Is the WWE ID program the golden ticket, or is it just fool's gold? Is Orange Cassidy the hero AEW needs, or just the hero of the day? And is Vince McMahon really getting back into business? Maybe he can call Vince Russo and recreate Sports Entertainment Xreme. It's FWP.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks. FWP, so good I listen weekly. Welcome to Final Wrestling Place.
I'm Tim.
I'm still Marcus.
And man, we just had a really deep conversation before the podcast started about everything going on in the world in the next 48 hours. So we need this to kind of clear our heads. Are you ready?
Hi, I'm Balls Mahoney. And
if that, I need to hear that. I'm going to clip that and just put it on my phone whenever I get out of my car to walk into my, a place where people hang out every 2 to 4 years. Just clear my mind, get it right, make everything great, and just
hi, I'm
Balls Mahoney. Yes. But welcome to episode 275 of Final Wrestling Place. And thank you for joining us wherever you join us, whether it's on your podcatcher of choice, on YouTube, or on the soon-to-be-named network at soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. We are glad you are with us. Continue to listen and let us know how you feel about the show and your thoughts and your opinions, whether it be through social media at TNM Shows on Twitter, at Final Wrestling Place on Instagram, or in the soon-to-be-named network Discord of the TNM Shows channel. We'd love to be able to chat with you, interact, and keep things on the move. But as the intro to the show let go, we're here to talk about the ID of the WWE. We're talking about the unlikely. That's right. We're talking about the unlikely hero that has stepped up for AEW. And Marcus didn't have it on the run sheet, but we're going to talk about Vince McMahon's newest parlance into entertainment. But before we get into that, Marcus, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You just seem like you've been locked in. I'm
locked in. I know it's daylight savings and the clock went back. I'm just sleepy, man. Tired. It finally temperature dipped here. I'm feeling it. I thought I was going to come on the pod and have a revelation, have a exclusive for everybody. Before this temperature drop, I had finally come around on fall.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize what I was missing out on. See, I thought fall was cold, dark, gray, leaves falling off branches and dying on the ground in a pile of rubbish, blowing in the wind aimlessly as the days got shorter and shorter and shorter, but longer at the same time.
Okay.
I thought that's what fall was. But apparently, fall is 83-degree weather with not a cloud in the sky, life full of vibrance, trick-or-treating with the yams out.
All right.
I thought fall was something completely different. I thought fall was something for the cold heads. I'm here for new fall. And hot take, global warming, maybe not all bad. because I am here for Halloween being the official end of summer. I'm in. Lock me in.
That's too
I'm
long.
down.
That's too long.
I am down. It's not too long. It doesn't get hot till July.
That's
It's 4
not
months.
true.
It doesn't get truly hot until July. Anybody who complains about heat before July is being inauthentic.
No.
It is just warmer than you thought it was.
Have you?
It doesn't get truly hot until July.
So have you thought that maybe the opposite people of you who think that fall isn't that cold and that people who say that fall is too cold are a bit inauthentic is the opposite of you who think that people who sweat their taint off in May?
No, that's preposterous.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure you weren't like just completely cuckoo bananas.
June. The sun's out. Yeah, you're gonna feel the temperature, but it's not hot.
What was
Because it's sunny out doesn't make it hot.
what was
Because it's in the 80s doesn't make it hot.
what was the temperature on Memorial Day 2024? Let's just take a look.
Probably like 83 degrees. Nice weather.
It was 73 on the Jersey Shore, 77
See?
in Delaware,
So summer
79 in
is
the
not
Poconos.
practically snowing. Summer does not start until July. And if it goes from July until October 31st, lock me in. I am down. Sign me up.
No. I'm a
Everybody's
fall.
going to get their
As a
their
fall
4
baby,
seasons.
I cannot prescribe to that.
It's just that fall is going to be in November to about mid-December. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that is something desperately wrong with that. We have
Fall
4.
is only like 3 weeks of nice weather anyways. So we're like, what does it matter
Define
where those
nice.
3 weeks fall?
Define nice.
I don't know, but you guys say nice, like 60 degrees.
You guys.
You fall people.
Okay, I thought you were talking about us white people. I thought you were
No, I'm
making
talking
this very
a
racial.
lot of white people are fall people, but not exclusively.
Okay, just want to make sure. The way I saw your face just scowl like you people, like I just immediately thought you were going, you vanilla faces, you need to calm down with your love of fall and Ugg boots and pumpkin spice lattes. Big pumpkin.
During this week when we need to have another racial draft, Summer will be a top draft pick going to the black persuasion.
If the racial draft were a thing, what is summer is the abortion topic. Like, if you're voting, like, what side are you on? I don't know, man. I like me a good fall, man. I like hoodie season. I like hoodies.
You can wear hoodies and shorts in this weather. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, now.
Cut off hoodie. Blow the sleeves off that bad boy.
That's not a hoodie, dog. That's not a hoodie. Dog, if you have to say cut off, it's not a hoodie. Hey, Marcus, wear some cut off jeans. Those aren't jeans. Those are shorts. They're made of denim, but they're not jeans.
You still got the hoodie part, and you still got your little pockets in the
You
front.
have the
All right, we're all
hood.
happy.
Not the hoodie.
Anyway. It was a hot 7 on fall.
Yeah, it was a lean 7 on fall.
Lean and tight.
Yeah, well, it's gonna get 77 again on Wednesday. I know there's certain podcasts that don't want to talk about weather. We'll do it. Yeah, 77 on Wednesday. It's gonna be great.
A little chilly.
73 on Tuesday. Perfect time to go stand out in line. Perfect.
Very important.
Perfect time to just go and complain about the weather. Maybe the only thing we have left in common, us humans.
Speaking of Tuesday, are you going? What's your strategy? Early morning, late at night?
Man, I'm trying to avoid as many idiots as possible. So I am going to try to go like pre-lunch but post breakfast. I'm thinking like a nice 10:45, 11 o'clock, short line. I want like maybe 4 people in my polling place at one time, and that's it. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to play nice with anybody. Like, of course I'm going to be cordial, but like, man, I don't want it to end up being like a family reunion where I'm just hanging out with a bunch of people I don't know and I don't care about, and we just kick it. It's not like when I came out to Pennsylvania to vote after I had already moved to Maryland.
That was crazy.
Dog, it was an important election. What was I going to do? What was I going to do? Not vote?
You did the right thing.
I did the right thing. I had to vote to make up for. Swing, baby, swing. Let's go. But yeah, man, everything is good. No complaints. Ready to rock. I'm going to give you a second now at the beginning of the podcast. We have not talked since, probably a big reason why you hate fall so much. And that is the unfortunate loss of the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
In the World Series.
I'm ready to talk about it.
Hey, man, Freddie Freeman. Proud of Freddie Freeman. Everybody else can suck eggs. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
A really cool series for Freddie Freeman, who cemented, I believe, his induction into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
Yes, sir.
When he is eligible. Literally some of the highest leverage at-bats in MLB history. And he came through in a big way every single time. So shout out Freddie Freeman. Heck of a ball player. I got nothing against him. Shout out to the Dodgers for spending money and doing whatever it takes to field a winner from start to finish, even though they were depleted with starting pitching due to injuries. Wasn't an excuse. They figured it out, and it must be nice to have an organization, to have ownership and leadership that realizes the importance of just being a good baseball player, not just when you're up at the plate, but base running, fielding, cutting off relay throws, knowing where you're supposed to be. Those are things that the New York Yankees are not good at. And the New York Yankees can bully their way and out-talent their way through the playoffs and through the division, and that's exactly what happened. Teams just simply cannot compete with a starting rotation of Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, and homegrown prospects like Clark Schmidt and Luis Heel. And you can't compete with Gleyber Torres, who was an on-base machine and a top prospect for a long time in the game, and him being our leadoff hitter. And then Juan Soto, one of the best baseball players of all time, and he's just turned 26 years old, I believe. Aaron Judge, going to the Hall of Fame. Giancarlo Stanton, the active MLB leader in home runs, going to the Hall of Fame. The Yankees will out-talent you all day until you have as much talent as they do. And that was the Dodgers, and they had more. Turns out the flaw of the Yankees ended up being exactly what informed fans such as myself have been screaming about since 2018. Hey, we are really slow on the bases. Hey, we get runners on and then they can't move over. They can't advance. Nobody can steal a base on the team. Hey, we're really unathletic in the field. Hey, we're really bad at like cutting off relay throws and getting the ball in. Hey, we play a lot of players out of place, out of position. We should actually get an MLB left fielder. We should actually get a third baseman. We should actually get a defensive second baseman. Hey, maybe we shouldn't have passed on legendary free agent classes of shortstops, banking everything on a kid from New Jersey being the answer at shortstop just because he's really good defensively. Maybe we should have checked in, actually done our due diligence on Corey Seager. Maybe we actually should have given Bryce Harper a call. Maybe we should have actually made a competitive offer to Freddie Freeman. Maybe we should have done more to get Yamamoto to have a deeper starting rotation. Maybe we should have actually had impact bats coming off the bench that could pinch hit so that we're not sending up Alex Verdugo in the bottom of the ninth with the World Series on the line in a one-run ball game. Maybe we should have actually played our really good prospects. I won't say generational, but our really good and coveted prospect in left field, whose nickname is the Martian because of how many tools he possesses and the ungodly talent that he has. Maybe we should have called him up for good in August instead of giving Alex Verdugo chance after chance when he had proven that he is a below average MLB player. Maybe we should have let the kid catch fly balls and hit as a switch hitter so that we have offense in the playoffs, but we didn't. And it literally ended up costing us the World Series. So I don't know what this Yankees team is going to look like. I said Dodgers in 6. I was too generous. I thought that surely the Yankees would win both of Garrett Cole starts. Nope. So it hurts. It stings, but it's more so out of disappointment. Because me being a layman, not in the MLB front office, why can I point out and identify the flaws with the team and then literally see them all play out and cost us the World Series? But we have a front office of geniuses that can't get it addressed and can't get the job done. So on a positive note, the Yankees didn't have an outfielder last season. Like, Judge was hurt, and then we had to field it with like AAA players. So we actually rebuilt a large portion of the team in the offseason last year. There is a lot of work that needs to be done this year. There is a lot of money coming off the books, so bringing back Juan Soto should not be a big deal. But we'll see, man. It's the off season, and those poor New York Yankees just can't afford the big contracts like they used to, and I'm ready for more pain. So
it sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to me, bruh. It ain't just, it ain't so easy, huh? It's not easy, but it's okay. We'll do better next time. No more Dodgers, no more Yankees talk. I don't want any of them in the postseason next year. If I had my way, they'd both fall into a big, big hole. But yeah, man, I hated that for you. Even though I got what I wanted, kind of. Didn't like it. I didn't like the taste of it at all.
It's like when Alfred told Bruce Wayne, even on that day, Saw, I won't want to say I told you so.
That's right. That's exactly right. I'm Michael Khan.
Yeah.
And you're Christian Bale. And we are sitting in France. And I'm reading my newspaper. And I look across. There you go, sir. Way done. We'll try to do better. Hey, man, your favorite time of the year is coming up, though. And MLB Hot Stove is like right around the corner. I can't wait to see your Twitter machine blow up with the number of opportunities the Yankees pass on.
All right, so
I just warmed you. I just teed you up for another 6 minutes. Yo, we gotta talk wrestling, man.
all right, obviously they got to bring back Juan Soto. They got to bring back Juan Soto. That is not an addition. That is a retention. Okay, so that doesn't count as a free agent and a hole being filled by the Yankees of need. Okay, that's just bringing him back. Then we need to get better on top of that.
Where? All right, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask the real hard-hitting question. Juan Soto does not re-sign with the New York Yankees. Mm-hmm. What team will hurt the worst if Juan Soto signs with them? Like, what team? Like, for me, when my Braves left and signed with the Yankees, I felt that was betrayal.
You know, Brian. Okay, so like Brian McCann.
Betrayed.
Okay.
Gary Sheffield, betrayed.
Sheffield, yeah.
Betrayed.
Andrew Jones, even though it was later?
Betrayal.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he left from Atlanta to New York.
No, he didn't. No.
So then it's not as bad of a betrayal because you had a team in between.
He was a journeyman by the time he made it to the Yankees.
Right. But like, what will hurt the worst for you? Juan Soto has signed an $800 million contract with underline.
I'm going to say for now it's the Dodgers.
Are they even in the running? Are they in the conversation?
So some insiders for MLB have said it's not a real possibility, but other people have said Juan Soto is a one-of-one free agent in his prime. Not even entering his prime, really. It's on the table. Now, supposedly Soto did not care for California while he was there with the Padres, but there's a lot that 900, maybe even $1 billion might fix. Now, my big fear is that Stevie Cohen with the Mets just goes nuke job and does $71 million across 14 years, which gets you to $1 billion plus. I think that's on the table for the Mets. I'm going to throw one out here too. If the Phillies get Soto, that is also going to hurt. Not out of a dislike for the Phillies, more so out of I'm envious of what they've done because they landed Bryce Harper, their generational talent, which to me, the equivalent of that for the Yankees would be Aaron Judge. And then they've built around him. They got Nasty Nick. They got Trey Turner. They got Kyle Schwarber. They've retained their starting rotation. They got Real Muto. They've made additions to maximize this window with their superstar. The Yankees have made some moves. Giancarlo Stanton. 1 year of Juan Soto. Getting Garrett Cole. But it's not the same. It's not as aggressive as the Phillies have been. So if the Phillies add Juan Soto too, that's really going to hurt. And you know what? I'll say it. I'll say it right now. You might see me in a Juan Soto Phillies jersey. You'll catch me at a lot more Phillies games.
Are you like
if they get Juan Soto?
Are you seriously trying to break my heart? Like, so not only do you actively root for and cheer for the team that I despise more than any other team in the whole world? You now want to go another step, and you want to rock the apparel of my number one divisional rival?
Oh, yes, I do.
I can't.
And I will. I will if they get Soto. If they get Soto, you're going to be seeing me and Brett at a lot of Phillies games this summer.
Well, I am posting an opening. If that happens, I'm posting an opening for 2 new friends. So if you want at Not the Tool Man across all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, I'll accept. We don't even have to talk sports. I'm just looking for 2 good people who aren't trying to kill me on a regular basis. But aside from that, I think that's enough banter. Nobody's really picked it up, so we're picking it back up again. It's blind rankings time, Marcus.
Oh,
hey, do you have your list picked out?
Oh, yes, I do.
So do I. So,
all right.
Would you elect to give or receive first?
You know me, baby. I'm a giver.
All right, I'm ready for it.
All right, Mr. Tim. 'Tis the season, election season, that is. So I'm going to ask you to blind rank these authority figures in professional wrestling.
Sure. I'd love to.
All right. First one out of the gate, Eazy-E, Eric Bischoff.
Is this their on-screen persona or their off-screen persona? Because I feel
strictly
like
on-screen.
Okay, Eazy-E is a little bit more palatable, especially with the NWO. Let's go 3.
All right.
I'm leaving the door open for other possible on-screen leaders.
Next one, Jack on the Take Tunney.
Bogus. He has done
bogus.
He's absolutely bogus.
That was the most bogus act you've ever committed.
Jack Tunney. 4 for Gentleman Jack Tunney.
Hulk Hogan, curse you.
Hold on, I think I have something. I think I have something for you here. Do I have it? Here we go.
I curse you. I curse you and every Hulkamaniac.
There you go. You're welcome.
Next up, holla play. It's Teddy Long.
Teddy Long, Teddy Long player, SmackDown general manager of the Millennium. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm putting him number 1. I don't care. Right. Number 1, represent for SmackDown. Do it for the culture. Teddy Long. Yep.
I don't disagree. All right.
Number 1.
Next up, Commissioner Foley.
2. Commissioner, right. Only Commissioner Foley. General Manager Foley from recent history? No. But Commissioner Foley, the rotating office with the gavel, that's final. That made my whole life. Loved everything about it.
All right. And then last one for you.
Number 5.
Gorilla Monsoon.
He better commentator. I didn't care for him as president. 5. Best thing you did was get squished by Vader. That's it.
I liked when he finally cursed at Stone Cold. I felt like it's you ever see one of the elders from church or something like that, ever drop the D word or something. It's
disappointed.
Whoa. Well, not that one, but
yeah.
All right. So bottom to top for you: 5 Gorilla Monsoon, 4 Jack on the Take Tunney, 3 Easy Eric Bischoff, 2 Commissioner Foley, and number 1 Holla Playa Teddy Long.
Yeah, I crushed that one.
You did.
Crushed it. Nailed it. Marcus, for you, this is a follow-up to We Need Wrestling. And my question that I asked on the podcast. I have 5 double team moves in the history of professional wrestling that I need you to rank 1 through 5.
Okay.
And I tried my best to not name any of the moves that they named on their lists.
Okay.
So, we're going to start with, first, the Authors of Pain's Super Collider.
Oh, dope. Now, clarifying question.
Yes.
Is a tag move, is it done specifically by that tag team? I am ranking.
Yes.
Okay. So, the Daddies of Pain doing the Super Collider, that's a 4 for me. I really do love the Super Collider, but I'm holding out for some really good options.
Yes, there is a lot of good options here. Next up, the Power and Glory's Powerplex.
Number 1.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Okay.
I mean, it's a superplex
and it's a
big splash, man. It's 2 of the best moves, and also very doable in a pool as well, which I think is very important to double team moves.
Yes.
Okay.
Next up for you is the New Day's Midnight Hour.
I like Midnight Hour. I'm gonna give it a 5 though.
Oh no.
Because I don't like it when
it's Xavier and Kofi
and Big E doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, to me that has to be Kofi and Big E's move.
Yeah. I think they actually changed the name of it depending on which 2 members of the New Day do it.
What is the power, the speed lineup?
Yeah, power lineup, speed lineup. So next up for you is from the American Alpha, Grand Amplitude.
Oh, it's pretty sick.
Yo, I was watching a video of it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot how great this move was." Big Yeetus.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So that means your number 2 is a underappreciated Hardy Boys tag team move.
Spin cycle?
No, the washing machine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not the spin cycle, the washing machine.
Okay.
That's they both grab a dude on one side and then whoop, and they. Yeah. Not the spin cycle. Spin cycle's nice, but it doesn't do much damage.
Yeah, okay.
And the Omega event is pretty sick. But for me, the washing machine, the OG S Whipper, Concussion City, you got it, baby. So Marcus's tag team.
Jones.
Yeah, Marcus's tag team moves from bottom to top: the Midnight Hour, the Super Collider, Grand Amplitude, the washing machine, and the Powerplex. Any regrets?
I wish I put Grand Amplitude at 2 and washing machine at 3, but other than that, I feel very happy with my list.
Fair enough, man. Sheesh. Okay, so now that we're on this conversation loosely, what's a tag team move we haven't seen in a while that you'd love to see come back? Because like the Powerplex was gone for a hot minute.
Yeah,
and then the FTR boys started using it again. But like right now in the history of tag team wrestling, you could give a tag team move to like the Outrunners.
Okay.
What tag team move are you giving the Outrunners? That's like people already love this team, and now they've got this cool move. What are they doing?
I feel like a double drop kick from them would be certified death on site.
So you want them to just Rock and Roll Express double drop kick people?
Yeah, if those dudes left their feet and hit a double drop kick,
The youngest man
the
alive.
place would go banana.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for real. That's not bad. Is there a tag team move you hate
Ooh.
or you think is bad?
Yeah. What's the Bucks gimmick?
Which one?
The
TK driver
Jamie?
or the more bang for your buck?
No, the trigger, the
EVP trigger, also known as the BTE trigger,
and the Ciampa and Gargano
meet in the middle,
little running knees. Yeah, like, oh no, I just got squashed by like 30 pounds of knee. Like, that doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. At least the EVP trigger, like, there's some force because like they're just sitting still and then like they're getting pulled at the same time.
I just don't buy it from little dudes. Like,
oh, here we go.
Not enough meat.
You know, like the knee is like if the authors of pain hit that, then I get it. Yeah, well, they're killing someone.
Yeah.
There's no work on that.
I guess I just don't like cruiserweights.
Yeah, you've told people. You've mentioned it.
I've mentioned that.
Fire's getting puny.
I like the Bucks when they do the fireman's carry roll and the 450 and the moonsault or whatever.
That's more bang for your buck.
That's a great tag team finisher for them. I'm here for it.
What about the Meltzer driver, the TK driver, the
dope? Also sick.
DJ, really cool. Get him. Get after him, DJ. You give me crap all the time. Now Marcus is loving what you hate.
It's for them. It's for them. I would hate it if somebody else did it, like, not in a match with them. But like, right. That's their thing. So like, that's cool. But like, anytime you're trying to sell me that like an undersized wrestler like hit somebody so hard that it knocked them out, I'm not buying it.
But if they hit him hard enough to put him down for 3 seconds,
no.
A little flash.
Because it's never 3 seconds. It's always like dead on the canvas for 30 seconds until you roll out of the ring so people can hit their pose. Like, that's why it's good for the business for people to kick out at 3. Because how are you going to go from 1-2 last second kick out to like 1-2 count to 100? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Like, you should kick out at 4. You should kick out at 3.5. That makes sense.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't make sense to be struggling for a 3 count and then you finally hit a move on somebody and you can count till tomorrow.
Right.
Doesn't register with me. Doesn't make no sense.
I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Business. We're going to talk about some other things that are maybe good or bad for the business, aren't we?
I think so. We're this is a return to form on this episode, I think. It's been a long time since we've taken a topic and assigned arbitrary red points and green points to something.
Ooh.
And put something in the good place or the bad place. But let me actually make sure I have the verbiage for this right. I'm going to read it.
Sounds of freedom.
Big sounds of freedom. A couple days early, but we're here. Oh no, I looked up the wrong thing. Here we go. The WWE Independent Development, short for WWE ID, is designed to provide independent wrestlers a clear pathway to a potential career in the WWE. Following the success of WWE's NIL program, WWE ID has been constructed to support independent wrestling prospects in schools with world-class training, development, and mentorship, in turn raising the profile of and strengthening the independent wrestling ecosystem. WWE will provide the most prominent independent wrestling schools in the U.S. with the WWE ID official designation, with the goal of guiding new trainees and existing talent at these select institutions with enhanced development opportunities. WWE ID will identify top independent wrestling prospects with an official WWE ID prospect designation and support their developmental journey. WWE ID will give fans the opportunity to follow the paths of these standout prospects on the independent wrestling scene through curated behind-the-scenes content, as well as highlights and matches showcased across WWE's social platforms. Marcus. WWE ID, man. I feel like this was asked for by no one. I don't know where this came from in the brain space of WWE, but I feel like you have questions, comments, and concerns about what's going on with everything.
Yeah, so I didn't read the whole press release. So you reading the whole release to me?
Well, that's not the whole press release. That's just what's on the website.
Okay.
Let me pull up the
so you reading what's on the website to me, and the main thing that stuck out was being able to put that stuff up on WWE socials. And to me, I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be like Dana White's Contender Series, pretty much. That's what's sticking out to me about that is, okay, they're just looking for more content because this company needs more content. But past that, I guess I've got some thoughts. I've got some observations. I guess I'm roughly qualified, I guess, at this point to kind of know what's what.
I think that maybe out of everyone, or at least of all of the pundits of the soon to be named network, in the wrestling offerings, I might say that you are the most uniquely qualified of all of the hosts to possibly talk about this. But I feel like all of us have like our equal thoughts and opinions, right? I think Joe hit the nail on the head in some regards on Ad Odds this past week. And if you don't listen to Ad Odds, you don't listen to We Need Wrestling, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go back, listen to those podcasts. Fantastic shows on the network. But if you already do, you already know that. So do you want to assign a red point or a green point first, Marcus? Or do you want me to give the first point?
All right, you go ahead and give the first point.
Okay. So I will give a green point for the actual independent talent, right? And this isn't all the talent, but it appears WWE is trying to find the way to make the path for those who want to be a WWE superstar and just a WWE superstar. They are paving the path of a golden brick road or a yellow brick road from wherever they are to Oz. Like, here are these 5 schools. These have the designation. So even if you don't want to necessarily apply with us as a talent and you're wanting to start that journey, okay, Reality of Wrestling, the Nightmare Academy, Black and Brave, Knox Pro, Elite Pro. Those are like the 5 WWE ID schools. Go there. Right? And like, I know Reality of Wrestling puts on shows. I know that the Nightmare Academy still does their student showcases on YouTube. I miss when Ad Odds used to do those for homework. They're up to number 19 now, Marcus. Yeah. I may have tried to
like a threat.
I may have tried to watch one and I stopped. I stopped so fast. Even the narcotic doesn't seep in enough to watch the Nightmare Factory stuff. But I think that now, as long as the contracts aren't gotchas and still lean towards the they still embrace the independent contractor part of wrestling, and wrestlers can use this possibly as a way to garner interest beyond WWE, then or to raise their profile altogether, I think that's a good idea. Now, if any of what I just said gets proven to be the contrary, I'm going to flip that light switch from green to red. Easily flippable switch. But for right now, whether right or wrong, the WWE has the most eyes on it in a wrestling perspective. If you want the most people to see your stuff, the WWE is where it is. And if that includes social media, if that includes YouTube, stuff like that, and they're going to do these profile pieces on wrestlers, cool, man. Cool. Let me find an independent wrestler I'd never heard of before and hitch my wagon to it. Because the indies, I don't want to say the indies are dead. They're not. They're absolutely not. But the purchasing power of independent wrestling, it's not where it used to be. I feel like in the late 2000s and early 2010s, independent professional wrestling was height of powers, and it's still going around, but it's not the same as it was when Ring of Honor was running hot and PWG was doing their thing, and you had CZW for a certain extent being tolerable, and you had Jersey All Pro, and you had all these mid-major independent promotions that you could actually think of and name them off the top of your head. Mm-hmm. Chikara being one too. But now a lot of them are gone, right? And you have your AIWs that are in that same regard, and your GCWs, but the cachet isn't quite the same as it used to be, at least at a fan perspective. Not speaking for both of us, speaking specifically for me. So for a wrestler, I think this is good, unless I am shown otherwise, that this is just a way for WWE to monopolize and take ownership of a wrestler before even signing a contract. Because what Adam said, I'd hate for an indie wrestler to sign one of these, never have a shot at going to WWE, but AEW gets interested, and their participation in the ID program is a blockade for them to sign with AEW or sign with New Japan or go anywhere. It's not, to me, it feels like it's a job application, or mm-hmm. I feel like there has to be red tape somewhere, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's for. I don't know where it's for. So, that's my first point. Marcus, what about you?
I guess green points for self-awareness. The Performance Center has been around for well over 10 years at this point and has failed to produce a business changing, company altering male talent, which they were supposed to be able to churn out one after another. That has not happened. Now, they've been great about developing female superstars, but the intent was male superstars, and the priority was the male superstars. It's still the WWE title that is the one main eventing the real night of WrestleMania. And the Performance Center has been kind of doo-doo when it comes to that. Sure, you have Braun Breaker, who maybe someday might be champion. Again, probably not with that name, but regardless of that, maybe someday could be champion. And that's a maybe. And he's also a second generation talent. So
he's like, it's like saying Charlotte, like
not exactly plucked from a gym or an NCAA athlete, plucked from the practice field, from graduation to the ring. Not exactly as they had imagined this to turn out the whole time, because at the end of the day, you get between that set of ropes and it's wrestling. As much as you want to dress it up, as much as you want to make it TV, as much as you want to make it a business, when the bell rings, it's wrestling. And you cannot manufacture the type of experience it takes to succeed at the highest level in a state-of-the-art facility. Can't be done. And I think it's been proven over the last 12 years or so.
I think that like WWE's come close with a couple of guys. One of which we can talk about now. It kind of ties into news, but like Baron Corbin, who apparently just got his release from WWE this weekend. But that's a guy who was from nothing. Chiefs practice teamer. I don't know if he even saw real
Cardinals.
PT. Cardinals too.
Yeah.
And, you know, off the field, right into the WWE. And the Lone Wolf was riding hot. And he had a longer career than a lot of people would have thought. And a lot of people like to say that Baron Corbin sucked. You and me are probably two of the bigger proponents on the Baron Corbin's all right train. And so it kind of made me sad when I heard Baron Corbin got let go. But like Baron Corbin I would consider Baron Corbin a somewhat success story of the Performance Center.
As a professional wrestler, I would commit crimes to have the career that Baron Corbin did.
Yeah.
In WWE. You can think he sucks. You can be bored by his matches. He had an audience of one, and he played to that audience of one, and he was rewarded for doing so. And he was on a lot of pay-per-views, and he had a lot of storylines, and he had some character arc to him. And he had good strikes, and he had good snap to his moves, and he had innovative offense, and he knew how to work a hold. And maybe not all that is for everybody. I get it. And I'm sure he was capable of more, but he understood running the playbook, the WWE playbook, and he did so pretty seamlessly, and he was rewarded with a pretty fruitful career. So
yeah, can't go against that at all. But then you mentioned guys like Braun Breaker, who they're legacy guys. Like, maybe they weren't always wanting to be a professional wrestler, but there's some pretty good legacy dudes who didn't want to be professional wrestlers at first. Charlotte being one, Randy Orton being one. Like, not saying Braun Breaker's going to turn out to be anywhere close to those two, but even if he sniffs the air, he's there. I'm always going to love Obafemi. I think Obafemi is the only guy in the class right now that has juice and could possibly be something out of this current class. Because I don't know where he came from or what he did before, but there is something about him when I see him, and that might be because I just have an eye for black wrestlers. But Obafemi does it for me. He has a look, he has a presentation, he has a voice. He is impactful in the ring, solid striking, unique moveset. Like, it's Baron Corbin playbook, right? And he has it all together. And, you know, NXT seemingly loves him right now. So for them to, I think also for them to make this, to lean into the emphasis of the independents, is kind of admitting that, you know, AEW's been taking their lunch on that. You know, WWE has kind of underserved the independents over the last 5 years, I would say, with COVID and whatnot. But the independents, it's seemingly like the independents all went to AEW, right? Like, that's what it felt like. Because you have to think of, like, the origins of AEW and what actually spins out of what and what conjures what. But for WWE to put an emphasis back on the independents, that's kind of, it is promising to see on their end. But WWE they did the same thing to the British wrestling scene. And look what happened to that, right?
Yeah.
And that may be the red point, right? Like, they want this ID system to revitalize the independents and allow people to be able to work and get their eyes seen on certain things. But really, is it just going to dry up the independents and, like, really put it to some sort of untimely end?
All right. So I'm going to go with a red point here, which is red point if you are hoping to see anybody interesting emerge from this little project. If you're between the ages of 18 and 22, and there was a strong likelihood that you were always going to end up in WWE anyways, this is the program for you. Whether you went to the Performance Center, great. Now you don't have to leave maybe so far from home. Nobody who gets signed to this program wasn't going to end up in WWE anyways. You're not going to see any darlings, I don't think, signed to this deal. They might at the very beginning. I would not be totally surprised to see like an Alec Price maybe signed to one of these. But I think pretty quickly as this goes on, this is just going to be more college level athletes who maybe don't want to stray too far from home, being more of a pipeline to the Performance Center, as opposed to WWE waiting for you to graduate and then taking you from graduation to the Performance Center. I don't think you're going to see anybody of real interest signed to one of these deals. Yeah, you're going to see people that you've never heard before because maybe you don't follow Division II lacrosse. Maybe that's a negative outlook, but I just don't think you're going to see an actual independent wrestler signed to one of these deals. Again, with every crop, I would not be surprised if they have a name for a headline. I've heard of that guy.
An Alec Price,
good
a
for
Blake
them.
Christian.
Right. But 99% of these people are going to just be rank and file Performance Center people. I don't think you're going to see anybody of any kind of substance.
So do you think this is kind of like a Trojan horse for the NIL program? Because like they're definitely trying to at least it being worded as being in conjunction with the NIL program, where NIL is doing their own thing, and then ID is something completely different, where like NIL is catered to those collegiate athletes, where this is for those who like are strictly in the mindset of like pro wrestling sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's actually sort of like a Trojan horse for like, hey, you in the NIL start training at Black and Brave, or start training at Reality of Wrestling, and get into the ID program before you even come to the Performance Center?
I really think it's a Trojan horse to avoid a monopoly lawsuit. That's what I think.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, this is just, hey, if you look like a WWE superstar and you happen to want to be a WWE superstar, but maybe you didn't have the athletic profile to be a scouted athlete throughout college, then this is another way to enter WWE. That's all.
It's fair enough.
That's all.
It's fair enough.
I think red point to people who think that this is a true reflection of indie wrestling. And I think a true red point to WWE if this is what they think they need to be taking from independent wrestling, because with their given success and their successes of the past, the people who do well, and I think what the indies does best for wrestling is taking people who you wouldn't expect to be in the WWE and taking people who don't look like a cookie cutter prototypical WWE superstar and letting them find themselves as a performer and letting them become one of one, so that WWE needs them because they offer something different than what they have. You look at Kevin Owens, independence. It's been on top of the card for WWE for years. One of their most valuable pieces that they have. You can say the same for Sami Zayn. Cody, manufactured, put together, whatever you want to say, but that nightmare package we see, that came together on the indies. You look at the rest of WWE's roster, it's a lot of people still left over from the FCW NXT era. 2011, 2012. The Usos and Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair and Seth Rollins. And it goes on and on. Anybody else who's there and is still featured, they were on the indies and entered WWE, like a Bronson Reed. So I think the indies are best for those type of talents making themselves invaluable so that they become sought out. That's what indie wrestling should be doing for WWE. And those are the type of indie talents that WWE should be looking for, because those performers know who they are as performers. And you don't need to strip them down to the nuts and bolts and rebuild them and give them a gimmick or whatever and have them into the WWE. They know who and what they are as a performer. And you can put them on your TV and they can help make you a lot of money immediately. Again, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, Eddie Kingston in AEW, Orange Cassidy. The names go on and on. So that's what they should be doing that they won't do.
Yeah, I just went onto the ID website, and there is an apply button on the top right of the page. And Marcus, when it pops up, it says this application is in English only, and there's two buttons. There's college athletes, and there's all other performers. All other applicants. And of course, if you click collegiate athletes, it takes you to an NIL Google form. And for the other applicants, it is the ID program. And I thumbed through a couple of pages of the questionnaire, and it looks kind of interesting what they're asking for all of these people. If you're an independent wrestler and you're wanting to be involved in this, hey man, don't be on social media. Don't do it.
None of this is new. This has been
for sure.
This has been the way it's been for 10 years or so.
But it may not be this public, right?
Yeah, probably not. But none of this is new.
The questions they're asking, what they want information on. It's just, now it's in the digital age, and instead of trying to be sneaky and secretive about what they want to do and who they want to address, now it's more of an open casting call. Bring me your tired, your poor, your what have yous, right? So, all in all, though, from first look, like, what are your thoughts? Like, good place, bad place, gut thoughts, ID program.
I mean, as a wrestling fan, red points, just because this is a whole lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a whole lot of nothing. It's just a way to cast a wider net to get more of the same. These schools do have a loose, I would say, affiliation, are known to already be, hey, if you are interested in going to WWE, these are schools that you should be going to. Not a surprise. Again, this company doesn't take risks. They are looking to get more of the same. The results will be more of the same. They still will not have a difference maker come from the performance center on the male side of things. So we're looking for something new or some new star to be discovered. Red points.
Fair enough. Let's talk about something that is risk-taking, and that is what is going on with AEW right now.
Ooh.
The Mox storyline continues. It rolls forward, and Dare I say, things look interesting. With everything going on. What for you right now is the most interesting of what's going on with everything with AEW right now?
For me, it's getting to see Orange Cassidy in the top babyface role. And yeah, it's because there's been a lot of injuries. But it's been because they have probably poor depth up and down their roster when you look at the heel and face side of things, like disproportionately heel. But it's Orange Cassidy getting to be like the franchise player for AEW right now. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, man, that was pretty cool. Now, seeing him kind of take the flag at first, here's where it's me like looking too close to it. It sucks. Like, I love that it's like it is awesome to see OC in this position, but for him to be the first flag bearer, it just lets me know that it's like it's not going to be him.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of sucks. Like, I want it to be him. But if anybody's going to be the gateway to get other people involved and looped into this storyline, more major players from the AEW locker room side, I'm to quote Poppy CC, I'm very intrigued. I'm also sort of intrigued as to like everything that's going on with the Elite right now.
Okay.
And the paper shredding, and I don't know what the papers they're shredding are. But them kind of going away to quote work from home. But leaving Okada and Jungle Jack Perry behind. Her sassafras. I'm just interested. I'm curious. Like, I think AEW now without, like, it's crazy. All four of the original EVPs are gone. Again, for the first time in a long time. Like, it is really a different time in AEW where the main figureheads don't necessarily have to be around for success to take place. Which is refreshing. But
yeah, it's a good spot for them to be in, that the company can be successful without the foundation. Like, that's growth. That is a good thing. They should embrace that and have more of that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's it's an honest question. And I saw a couple of people bring this up, especially when we had the debut of Bobby Lashley on Fright Night Dynamite. And I'm a big supporter of Bob Lashley. I've loved Bobby Lashley. Love Bobby. Love Bobby.
We love Bobby.
We love Bobby.
Bobby, Bobby, Bobby.
Bobby, Bobby.
One of the strongest black men I've ever seen.
What a specimen.
Bobby Lindsay.
Bobby Lindsay. But with him and like, you know, the Hurt Syndicate showing up and Ricochet showing up and all of these other like hot new WWE releases, like, it's bringing up like an old feeling of like AEW now is grabbing WWE retreads again. This isn't me. This is just me picking stuff out of the internet, right? Like WWE retreads. And it's like, if you're going to be the alternative or be the challenger brand, why are you just taking all of their like hot talents, right? And do you think there's any legitimacy to the criticisms of like AEW somewhat relying heavily on discarded WWE talents?
No, because discarded talents have historically changed the business. Like whether you're talking Vern and Hulk's falling out in the mid 80s, or you're talking Mick Foley and Steve Austin, and on a much smaller scale, Triple H, really fueling the Attitude Era. No, discarded talents have always like been big in changing the business. And I think it's different with AEW when you're picking up talents that haven't been overexposed. Like, yeah, Ricochet's seen a lot of TV time in the last 7 years or so. But even with that, there is more to him that has not been tapped into. Shelton Benjamin he's probably the Arn Anderson answer to most underrated, underutilized wrestler. It was like, oh, who's the best guy to never be world champ? It's Arn Anderson. And it's like, okay, well, who's the most underrated wrestler of all time? It's Shelton Benjamin. Like, and real quick, Shelton Benjamin is super awesome now. And it's because he's not doing what he was doing 20 years ago. It's because he's being 6'3" and 265 pounds and being a bully in the ring and being a super athlete and not bumping a lot for little dudes and taking people's lunch money. That's why Shelton Benjamin's extra awesome. He's wrestling his size and people are having to sell for him at his size. That always works in wrestling. There should be more of it. And Bobby Lashley is money. He's been money wherever he goes. WWE the first run. Should have been world champ. But because, let's face it, he's a black man. And we're still in the hand shy era of Brock when they gave Brock the world and he split. They weren't going to do that to Lashley. So he splits. And he goes on, does some good business in TNA, ultimately comes back in WWE, does some good business in WWE. Bobby Lashley's got more in the tank, man. Bob Lashley has some ideas.
I don't know if they're good ideas, but he's got ideas.
I don't know if they're good ideas, but I support him having ideas.
I support almost everyone having ideas.
I specifically support Big Bob's ability to have ideas. And
which one? Which idea specifically? If you had to pick one, perhaps would he?
It's got to be inciting a race war.
Yeah, I think it would literally be running the clock back to the 1940s, right?
What I liked about his pitch was it did the Family Guy bit of like, okay, this is funny. Okay, this is not funny. Okay, this has been going on so long that it's funny again.
Mm-hmm.
With like okay, you people, okay, they did it. And then they continue to go on. It's like, okay, they really shouldn't have done that. But then like you double down with like the Hitler mustache motion. And it's like, oh, okay, this is... this is horrible and good again.
Oh man, can't do that.
Let Big Bob cook creatively.
I don't know, man. I was here for Big Bob and Killer Karrion Kross to get into a fist fight. Yo, just let them shoot fighting backstage.
Oh no, we might get fired if we got into a fight. Again, don't take risks, don't get rewards.
But then, like, someone's gonna catch a shiner for real. Like,
you gotta commit. Gotta commit.
All right now.
Well, didn't they do that? That was the same thing they did with AJ and LA Knight.
Yeah,
they did the shoot fight.
Yeah, at the WWE, the WWE The World or whatever it was called.
Would have been cooler to let Big Bob cook.
Right.
Imagine seeing Big Bob get into a shoot fight. Like I would.
I'd be afraid.
I would click on that. Yeah,
I would be so.
I want to see that.
Here's the thing: if AJ Styles and LA Knight get into a fight, it's on WWE's website. If Big Bob is beating up Karrion Kross, that's on TMZ.
Except it shouldn't have been Karrion Kross. It should have been like Big Bob and one of the Daddies of Pain.
Nah, man, it's leader versus leader. Why is Big Bob going to go after Occam?
Somebody's got to be sacrificed. They expect one of us in the wreckage, my brother. It's got to be one of the AOP.
Are you just finding many ways to bring up the Dark Knight stuff today? You don't think you're slick enough you're going to get past me? Talk about how Bane's going to try to drop somebody in the falling plane.
So, going back to on topic, like, I think it's good to pick up talent that's available as long as they are not overexposed. I think it's a plus.
Do you think AEW may be picking up too much talent?
No.
Okay.
No. Because AEW actually does a much better job at WWE at like cycling their people in and out. Like, you'll see somebody on top or whatever featured for a couple months and then they kind of go away for a little bit. And sometimes that's because of bad creative or a lack of creative follow through with somebody once their storyline is done. Sometimes it's injury. That company has definitely been bitten with the injury bug a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's due to the in-ring style. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe it's just having, I don't say older, but more worn wrestlers, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
AEW seems to really be bit with the injury bug. So having that depth is good. And guys getting paid is good.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for it. I'm just more so just asking, like, fueling the questions to you. Cause like, to me, the people who ask those questions to me, it is a big inciting of tribalism. Like, you automatically assume that all of these people are WWE guys. It's like, they are WWE people. Why is AEW signing all these WWE people? When really, like, we have to remember, we are not that far removed from WWE being the only place in town.
right.
So, like, a lot of these people didn't have an AEW to go to. And, like, maybe they signed a contract to, like, get back in or to re-sign and have a lengthier stay with the WWE. And maybe they didn't sign with AEW at first. Because unproven commodity, right? Like, maybe not a lot of people want to take a risk on AEW in their first or second year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, kudos to Brody Lee, right? Mr. Brody Lee took the chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
He, like, unproven company, went and, found a place that he could, like, elevate his stock. He did in an amazing way. And unfortunately that his number got called and he went home and we're all worse for it. But not everybody has that foresight to think to call their number and go and, like, actually try to do something in an unproven place, right?
Right. And it boils down to, like, these wrestlers are wrestlers. Like, there is no allegiance to one company. And it's just, again, like, that tribalism comes from people who've just started watching wrestling in the last 8 to 10 years. And not that you're not real people for the most part, but those chronically online people, like, sorry, I just don't really count your existence when you have that kind of, like, crazy mindset. Like, Ricochet he's been a wrestler for like 20 years or whatever. Like, Bob Lashley has been a wrestler for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Shelton Benjamin has been a wrestler for over 20 years. Like, they are wrestlers. Yes, if you wanted to do it at the highest level, the only place to do that was WWE. If you wanted to take a pay cut but enjoyed working in Florida and going to Universal Studios twice a month or whatever, you could be in TNA if they had the opening for you.
Right.
That was it. That was it. The indies, it is not a guarantee because you need to make sure that you have companies that dates line up, that have people you want to work and are comfortable working, that have working conditions that are safe for you to work in, that have rings that are safe for you to be in, that have the reputation of actually paying their talent. Merch is not a guarantee. Not everybody's built for that game. So, no, like, it is not the same as, hey, pay me, I show up, I wrestle, I get paid again. Like, that's not the indies. The indies is a different kind of hustle. So, and not everybody's built for that.
Right. No, I'm completely with you on that front as well. But it's interesting to hear, like, if an AEW guy goes to WWE, that's cool. That's a big steal. But if
it's like a graduation.
Right, but if a WWE guy goes to AEW, it's like, AEW's not a challenger brand. They want to be Pepsi, but they're more like A Treat. I'm like, no. Like, stop.
Yeah, no. And not everybody's been a home run that AEW has taken a chance on, but you've got to take some chances on people to see what they have. Like, I would be very interested in Ricochet if he joined up with the Hurt Syndicate. I'd be interested if there was a long courting process and he decides not to. Like, that is interesting to me, and that is 10 times more interesting than anything he did in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of speaking of Ricochet, much respect, Sam Irvin. She has been a force online, with my favorite quote being, "Yeah, my husband's a millionaire. Of course I quit my job that I didn't like." She rocks.
Yeah. She do rock. I'm down with that and everything. I'm trying to think what else about. Do you have anything else on the AEW front?
Small change with Orange Cassidy. His closing line. It's a really small change, and it's okay if nobody else caught this, but it's when he said, I'm still Orange Cassidy, but it was, and I still don't need a catchphrase.
Instead of have.
And that one word changed to me. I didn't know that there was like another level of superstardom for him to reach in AEW, but then that one word, it's like totally put him up on a different level for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's like, it's not the laziness out of like, I don't want to come up with one. It's, I have the power that I don't have to have one. I thought that was a cool character shift, even if it is only one word, and maybe it is just going to be a retcon thing. Like, that's what the catchphrase always was. But that is a one word that makes a world of a difference. Right. I think so. I thought that was dope. And another thing I thought, piggybacking off of the boys over at We Need Wrestling, they were talking about Adam Cole. And I thought it was a fascinating conversation about how maybe the best way for him to contribute to wrestling, if that was something he wanted to do, was to be the main name to bring in for independence, which I think is a great idea. I think it's a great spot to be in. And especially him coming off that NXT run, which was lightning in a bottle. That is a fantastic idea. And I'm definitely not telling anybody, hey, don't go get the money. Don't go wrestle at the highest level. I'm not saying that. But it's also kind of, I don't know if crazy, but like, WWE, maybe, while they went about it wrong, I think that maybe they were heading in the right direction. I think that I think his ultimate value to wrestling won't be in the ring. And maybe they were too quick in trying to shoo him away from the in-ring. But whether it is a commentator, whether it is an analyst, whether it is just a company ambassador, maybe it's just being a social media presence. But I think his true legacy is going to be in whatever he does after he's done in ring.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that he presents online and how personable he is and the connections that he is very authentically able to make with people and how likable he is, how dreamy of a little dude he is. I think that's going to be like his legacy. I think that's going to be where he makes his mark on the wrestling business. And that says a lot considering his NXT run was pretty goated.
I can easily see Adam Cole turning into a talent relations type guy. And also filling in that role of Christopher Daniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an office guy who can go to all these indies and make connections with the indies and like make nice with people and find diamonds in the rough that are out there and actually listen to the stories of the people that he's working with and possibly take some of that information home, right? Where I think Adam Cole may be a little more of a not trusted voice, but I think Adam Cole understands 2024 wrestling more than a Christopher Daniels does.
It's no different than like what we see pretty recently in the NFL with like the broadcasting, where like we need to get Phil Simms out of the booth because Phil Simms was great to talk about quarterbacking in the early and mid 2000s.
When every quarterback was a pocket passing quarterback like he was.
And he wasn't too far removed from the game. But as more time gets on and you're a little bit further removed from the game, you have to find who is that next version of you. And like that was Tony Romo. And you see it in the same in like the studio analysis. Like they are rotating and moving out the older guys who are many generations removed from the game at this point to bring in the guys who are 5 years, 10 years removed from the game and know what it is like and have the connections with people and play the game pretty recently and can see what is coming up just by the down, the distance, what was called before, who's on the field, coach tendencies, all these things. Like the game keeps moving and the business needs to evolve with it. Like, so yeah, like those guys like Adam Cole, those guys should be the ones that are hitting the indies and working, you know, your top name or two on you know, your local independent and seeing what's out there and who's got it and, you know, giving back and putting in words for guys in AEW or whatever company. Like we need more of that in the business.
Right. And even like look at the NBA, right? The NBA, there's a lot of former players that are now getting nods as head coach.
Yeah.
Like
and office jobs.
Yeah. For sure. And like WWE kind of did that loosely with like Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. Right? Like they're on-screen talents, but they're managerial and they're like, they understand they're super talented, but also like maybe it's your talent isn't to be completely out of it. It's not to be completely off the camera, but it may be completely out of the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not to say Adam Cole is washed or in any sense of that, but it may be just like maybe less of him on TV and more of him being a presence for AEW, again, traveling around and seeing the talents that are out there and making those decisions, right? Or at least
it's not like picking on Adam Cole. It goes back to like guys' runs are too long now. And it's guys' runs used to be short because they wrestled in terrible rings and worked these horrible schedules and wrestled too much and took poor care of their bodies and didn't save their money and developed horrible coping habits on the road to get through all of that. And that's why guys had short but also memorable runs. We've seen the generations learn from that and extend their careers and have these 20-year runs. But at the same time, you want to be able to get out there, and you need those guys to get out there to work with the newer, younger talent, as opposed to when you are much, much older doing that. But it's also like another generation of two guys that didn't have the opportunity to work with you when you could do 85% of what you used to do, as opposed to working with you at 50% of what you used to do.
Right. Right.
And there's generations or classes of indie guys and girls that are just ignored because they don't have the opportunity to learn from people who have been there and done that recently.
For sure. Like WWE should do this too. Like it's not, and I think WWE's kind of doing it now, right? With AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura going over to Japan and Io Sky going over to Japan. Like, it doesn't hurt to have some of your talents go out as like, you don't need them to be completely retired to be an ambassador, right? Like you can send them out as still having some bumps left on their bump card and going out and like, you know, glad handing and being the bell ringer for the company they work for, right? So all in all, man, I think it's very interesting to see where AEW is now, both in the ring and the possibilities out of the ring with the growth. I'm very excited to see what the next 3 to 6 months looks like, because right now I think they're very cohesive. I don't know if there's...
The shows are very focused.
Yeah. And it says a lot because like looking at seeing who may be responsible for what sort of like what the storylines are, like that writing staff that AEW put together, right? It's all sort of like piecing itself together. And, you know, whether you agree with who's getting pushed or who's not getting pushed or who's getting screen time and not getting screen time or ring time for that matter, at least there's a focus and there's multiple focuses going on at the same time. And it's not pinholed to one particular thing. So that's very, very exciting. I know I joked about talking about Vince McMahon's upcoming venture. I made a joke about it at the beginning of the show. I think you should call Vince Russo and they need to open Sports Entertainment Xreme. That'd be real fun. Bro. Nah, go away, Vince, go away forever. Listen to what Ed Cody said in the voicemails of Had Odds. You know, he probably can't say it on Twitter, but, he can say it in my heart all day. And I'm happy for that. Yeah, man. But, is there anything else you want to talk about, cover, go over, before we wrap up for the evening?
No, I don't.
Did you buy anything this week?
No, but I've been looking at ringside. I'm probably gonna get that Ron Simmons next paycheck.
Me too.
You know, just a little treat for myself. So
yeah, I can't be treating myself, but I have to get that pig.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you, especially right before Christmas, but
yeah,
you know.
Got to do it, right? Ain't nothing left to it but to do it. So I get that. How about this? How about I buy one for you and you buy one for me? So that way we're not spending money on ourselves, but we're buying each other a gift.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
But
I'm on board.
But ship my gift to your house. And I'll ship your gift to my house.
Same.
Yeah. Perfect.
Or we could just do the whole switcheroo when we see each other. Just do a little fig swap.
That's so dumb.
Do a fig swap. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna break mine out of the box.
Oh, you heathen.
Dude, as soon as I get it, that and this Vader, they're gonna have a face-to-face standing right here right in front of me. They're gonna be right here lined up with all the great luminaries, Mr. Hitman, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Big E, Eddie Kingston, Asuka, Dave Bautista, and Hollywood. You know?
Hollywood.
Yeah. That's
very different from Bad Terry.
Yes. Kenny knows.
Kenny knows what's up. Yeah.
Kenny knows what's up. But yeah, man, my little figure station right over here. It's you can't see it, but it is here. It's all lined up. And then I got to get my outsiders.
Yeah, they're really calling me. I really need to get them.
I know. I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
I'm afraid all the advertising they're doing is going to make people be real interested, Jack, to get after it. So we will try. We'll see what we can do. We will survive and we will overcome. But do you have anything you need to plug?
November 9th, VC Dub, Alexandria, Virginia. Nick Nemeth, The Wanted Man.
He's the wanted man.
I don't know. Go see him. Go get something signed. I don't know. Buy a ticket. Say Mr. Pig sent you.
That's right. Tell everybody.
Help Mr. Pig get paid more. So
that's right. Tell Jerry. Go right up to Jerry Stephanides' face and say, "I'm here because of Mr. Pig." And he's gonna be like, "Who?"
No, he knows.
He knows.
The guy line in his pockets.
That's right. That's right.
He knows.
The calls and all
Welcome
this.
to the house.
That's right. But other than that, thank you so much for joining us. This was episode 275 of Final Wrestling Place, proudly on the Soon to Be Named Network. Soon to Be Named Network.tumblr.com. It's your home for this. So many other podcasts, including but not limited to our wrestling offerings of We Need Wrestling with DJ and Brett and At Odds of Wrestling with Joe and Adam. Bruh, the hot sauce is in for Wings on Wings.
Yes.
That puppy looks sick. I already put my name down on the order list. Like, yo, yes, please. Sauce me up, Jack.
I can't wait to try a little bit. I'm going to try some. I might die. I'm going to try it.
No.
I'm going to try it. Shout out real quick. Sorry to interrupt the rhythm, but shout out Wings on Wings. They are releasing their final episode maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure about their release time, but it will be dropping pretty soon. They go
Tuesday. They usually drop on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I know usually Tuesday. I wasn't sure if they had a Snacks on Snacks first or if they're dropping the final one on Tuesday, but either way, they are wrapping up their podcast as a whole on Wings. So it has been a true pleasure to get to hear everybody there, to get to know them. Miss Tatum, the best in the world. Doug, life coach. Death coach.
Yep.
Spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
Of course.
CEO of Sodas.
Of course, the CEO of Sodas, who her and Miss Tatum, I never want to watch wrestling without them.
Right.
Just so great getting able to spend time with them. Of course, our guys, DJ Brett. So, and when the young king Gavin is on as
That's
well.
right.
So, yeah, it's just great to get to know everybody from the show and to get to hear them. And I will miss not having that show on Tuesdays. So
yeah, it is a fantastic accomplishment for them. You know, it is a dream of mine to do a podcast that has a definitive start and end. I would love that very much, because then like it gives you a way to like stick the landing, right? You know, with these kind of evergreen, timeless podcasts, it's trying to figure out what you're going to come up with next and just keep innovating, keep talking, keep making interesting points. But when you have something on rails that you can follow and know there is a definitive start, middle, and end, and you're able to see it to fruition in spite of everything, that is no short feat. So congratulations to them on a podcast. Well done. If you haven't, you still got time. Once the final episode's on, you have no excuse. Go back, binge it, crust the tip, beginning to end, listen to it all. Get it some bonus listens, get the hot sauce if you can. It'd be cool. So, big shout out to them. Much love to them. Can't wait to see them all again soon, hopefully. But if you want to follow us on social media, you can, or talk to us, you can, at TNM Shows on Twitter, at Final Wrestling Place on Instagram, youtube.com/at Final Wrestling Place. Get all that. Get all of us that you want in the TNM Shows channel in the soon to be named network Discord. If you want to follow us on social media personally, you can, at Not the Tool Man for me, at the Wrestling Speakeasy for Marcus. If you know, you know. We will be back here next week for more talking, more fun and excitement. Hopefully there's some good news to chat about. And if not, we'll figure it out as we go along, because that is just how we do. So, Marcus, right now, all that's left is to tell the people goodbye.
bye, boys.